Red. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm always good. You know me. I'm always good. Always good.
How's the? You've been busy with your radio, have you?
Oh man, I've been a hellish week, I could say. I've been doing a lot of motion capture this week, dressing up in some sexy suit. Not looking very
What
sexy
for?
though. They put all those pods on you for motion
Yeah,
capture
yeah.
for some huge game, which apparently is going to be the #1 game when it comes out. But I can't say much about it because it's all
Uh,
NDA stuff.
Non-disclosure.
But they put these caps on you and these little electronic things all over you so
That's
that when
cool.
you move it looks good on the computer and whatever. So I've been doing that all week, and that's
That's awesome.
really hard work because you're in a session for 6 hours at a time, shouting and really expelling every last breath you have and sounding like
Yeah,
a
God.
monster. So I was doing that, then the regular voiceovers as usual, then the radio show on a Saturday because I love my funk and soul music. And
The solar coaster, that's what it's called, isn't it?
Mhm.
Is it called the solar coaster?
The
Is it?
Solar Coaster on Jazz Funk Soul Radio, jfsr.co.uk. Every Saturday on UK time is 12 until 4, but it's all funk and soul, and I'm just happy and pumped up.
Yeah.
And, that's how it is because I got 68,000 records, which I've collected forever and
Oh
a day.
wow.
And I've been broadcasting
Jesus.
on the radio for 35 years. A lot of people don't know that, but
Wow.
that's my little side thing,
Side hustle.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the radio thing then? Was that prior to your voice acting?
No, radio was by accident. I've always said, as I've grown older, that when you believe in something, when you want to be something, when you want to do something, you end up being that person. If you believe and never go off the track, you got to focus on it. When I was a kid, let's say when I was, 10 years old, 11 years old, because I'm 62 now, even though I look sexy and young, I'm
Yeah, you look
62.
good for your age.
I'm
You've
60
aged well like
goddamn
a
too.
fine
Trust
wine.
me. Trust me. Hang on, let me fix my hair. I wish. But back in the day, when I was like 10 years old, I used to listen to what my parents used to call the wireless, little gramophone. And you put the batteries in it, and I used to put this radio to my ear. And it wasn't just the music coming out of the box. It was the human voice. Then you get a DJ, yay, that was Kylie Minogue and blah, blah. And I says, wow, these guys sound so cool. How does this work? I didn't have a clue about studios, about microphones, about nothing, about AM or FM or nothing. I just had this box, put my batteries in it, turned the dial, and I heard music. I was fascinated. So that became my passion, listening to radio.
Well, I've got to say, last night when you sent me the link to your radio, I had a listen probably for like a minute, and I love your commentary on there. I can't remember what you said. You said something like rocking out like my mum's taught me or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. It made me laugh though. It was fucking
God knows
funny.
what I say. I'm ad-lib. There's nothing on script on radio. This is the beauty about my radio station. They allow you to be you. You don't have to. It's like when you play your guitar. If somebody's telling you, you know what you're doing, you know what you're trying to create, but then somebody says to you, you should play that in B flat or you should play that in A sharp when you're doing a solo. It's like, let me do my thing. Don't be telling me, don't be schooling me about what you know nothing about. You don't understand my kind of music.
That's right.
So leave me, it's the same thing. So when I'm on the radio, I'll say, don't forget to spread the word. Tell your mom, your dad, your cats, your dogs, even I'm here, stuff like that. Simple little things.
I'd get tongue-tied. I'd get so tongue-tied doing that.
Well, no, you wouldn't. You have to practice. You say stuff and you almost forget you're on radio. I mean, I got myself in a little bit of trouble because, well, to me, when we grew up, what we knew as a cat, I won't say it, I don't want to mess up your podcast, but began with a P, right? That was, you know what a P is. It's a cat, meow, right? And I said to somebody, because they were saying, wow.
It's pussy. You can say that on here. It's fine.
Okay, well, what I said was, oh man, I'm so old. I remember when pussy was a cat. I said that on the radio because that's humor in my book. That's humor. I says, man, that's 75. I remember when that came out. Jesus Christ, I'm old. I says, I'm so old, I remember when pussy was a cat. And all the bosses and everybody saying, Red, man, you're going to get us in trouble. You can't say stuff like that. And I thought, Really? What exactly did I say? It wasn't wrong. But
No.
the freedom of broadcasting, you can only get at certain types of stations where you're
Yeah.
self-driven, with your own music, when you're own producing. So I will never be on a national station. I've been offered, but I'll never do that because they're
There's
so
too many rules, hey?
easy. You can't say that. You can't do that. You're talking too much. No one's interested in the artist. Just press the button and play the music and sit there
Yeah.
back to back. And then you say, this is this station, 15 minutes in. So you speak like probably 5 minutes out of an hour, which is not,
Yeah.
no, you got to be
No,
passionate.
I think there's like a chart. That's the thing, though. Is I think when they try to, they try to oh, what's the word? Interfere too much in things like that. Because I
Control.
think the part of the charm of that radio is when the host has a bit of banter, But
Yeah.
if that's taken out,
Yeah.
if it's just, you might as well just fire up Spotify and hit random on Spotify. Why?
Well,
Why else would you listen to the radio then?
Back in the day, they called it personality. Nowadays, there is no personality, like you said. I've been in many radio stations to do voiceovers for those radio stations, and you see the so-called presenters, I call them robots. They're sitting there, and they press the button, and that button has just played 3 tracks back to back. It's played the jingle, it's played everything, and then the so-called presenter won't even have the decency to tell you what they just played. They'll say, hi to Fabian, hi to Red over, and I'm thinking, I was just waiting for that track. And I spoke to one of the presenters, and they said, well, we don't really need to because people have Shazam, don't they? And I thought,
Yeah.
if
you're driving your car, though, you can't really pull your phone out and use Shazam, or you can if you.
But as a presenter, I would find that soul destroying to sit there.
Yeah,
listening.
absolutely.
Nah, that's not for me.
They just take the paycheck, but I guess eventually those people will probably be phased out by AI. I'm sure they'll have some
I think so.
AI voice as well. And
well, that's the thing. This AI, it's a contentious thing. It's a beautiful thing because you've got to appreciate the skill that it took to actually get it into this stage that it is now. But you can press buttons nowadays and you can lower your voice. You can press buttons nowadays and you can raise your voice, or you can sound
that's
like,
correct.
if I want to say, I wanted to talk like the legend Barry Humphrey, who just passed, and and I wanted to talk like that. Oh, I can't quite do him, but if I want to talk, there's certain buttons you can press and you can say, I want to sound like Barry, and you press a button talking to the microphone and you sound like him. Amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
So pitch shifting.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a bit like somebody ripping off one of your tracks and lip syncing it or miming to it and pretending it is theirs. It's not right. But hey,
I agree. But I think AI is there's gonna be some really cool things it can do. But like you see AI art now, and it looks cool, but I would rather something that someone made personally. I'd rather something that an artist created. Because,
exactly.
Yeah, because it's just coming from a computer. I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't sit well with me.
I mean, one thing you for regarding AI is that I personally believe, not because I'm afraid that I'll lose work or nothing like that. I've been in this job so long, I've got plenty of work coming. But what I do think AI lacks is personality. The simple breaths. I could be saying something about somebody who's just died, and I could say, I got some sad news for you. And someone will say I sound sad, but the little breaths make the difference. So AI ain't gonna do that. AI is gonna say,
it's not.
I have got some bad news for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody just died. And even though they may emulate somebody's voice very well, they will never get that human emotion that only a human being can exhale. Hey.
I agree. So, how did you get into the voice acting? Because I saw something on YouTube, and you used to be like a train conductor or something like that. Is that right? Or?
Conductor.
So you don't mind
I love
telling the
when
story,
people
do you? You probably told it a million
Wikipedia
times.
and all that. Don't worry about what they say. They never get stuff right. I was a train
So
driver.
straight from the horse's mouth, eh?
Yeah, I was a train driver, actually driving the trains. And back in the day, I was a naughty boy. Well, when I say naughty, I was just a red-blooded man who liked a lot of girls. And I was driving my train one morning, and as I'm pulling into a station in the UK in London called Oxford Circus, which is Oxford Street, one of the busiest streets in Europe, right? But that's a very packed train station. But I was around about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm pulling the train in, and as you know, well, I'm not sure about Australia or any part of the other part of the world, but when the train comes in, because it's quite a narrow tunnel, it brings the breeze with it, so the air comes in, and when you're standing on the platform, you feel the breeze of the train coming in. And this lady was doing a photo shoot on the platform with lots of photographers, and she was pretending to be Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, she got the white dress and the red lipstick and the blonde hair, blah, blah, blah. And they're taking clicks. And the breeze is blowing her dress up, the typical Marilyn Monroe pose. So the wind is taking it up. So as I'm driving past, I'm coming in at 40 miles per hour, hitting the brakes, and I'm like, whoa, damn. So I'm looking back as I stop the train, press the two buttons to open the doors. I get on the intercom. Ding dong. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your driver speaking. I'd just like to say a very special good morning to the lady who looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe. You look fantastic. Fellas, make sure you give her a seat. And that's how they did. Bing bong. This train will be calling at all stations to Watford. Please stand clear of the doors. Bang. Shut the doors. Put the phone down. Got on with my business. So when I get a couple of stops up the way, this guy jumps off of my train, runs down my platform. He was like 6 cars back, but I can see we got monitors because it's one-man operation, no guards. And I could see him bolting up the platform, and he's got on a suit, well-to-do looking man. And I says, I wonder what's happened, because back in the day, you got muggings, you got stabbings, you got people passed out on the train. So I never knew why he was running so fast. I said, whoa. So I put the brake on and I open up the window. Says, everything okay? Oh, sorry. And he's so camp, and he says, oh, sorry, I just wanted to say, you've got a lovely voice. And I'm thinking, for Christ's sake, I'm trying to drive a train here. This is rush hour. And I says, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. No. And he gave me his name and he gave me his card and said, do you have a number? And back then, this is like 30 odd years ago, right?
Oh, so when was this? What year was this?
This is 1994-ish, 5-ish, somewhere around there. And he gave me a card. And back then, if you had a mobile phone, you were something. Nowadays, everybody got one of these, right? The
big brick.
Yeah, so I had this phone. I says, yeah, I'll change my number. And I took his number. He took mine, and blah, blah, blah. Wow, I've got 3 people in my contacts now. Wow. And so he rang me up the following day. Hi, and I'd like you to come in to do a voiceover for, and you got to appreciate, I'm a train driver. I'm just like you and everybody else. I'm just a regular guy who works 48 hours a week for a standard wage. And he says, I'd like you to come in and do a voiceover. And I wasn't really sure what a voiceover was. I thought I knew I got to say something, but I didn't quite get it. So anyway, I got on my uniform. I told my wife at the time, my ex-wife, oh yeah, this guy I met yesterday wants me to go and do a voiceover. So before I went to work, I was going to start work at 2, and I went in at 12:30 to this fancy studio. And I'm the guy who walks into the studio and like, whoa, wow. First time I've been in a proper studio, right? So I got this London Underground uniform on, looking like I'm green around the gills, which I was. I had no clue what I was doing. And he came in and he said to me, right, hello, Red. And he's shaking my hand. And I said, okay, come upstairs. Went upstairs, and there's lots of other fancy executives around and looking at me, and I'm looking at them. It's like, hi. And I've never been shy. I've always been a very straight talking kind of guy. So I looked at them. They meant nothing to me. I was like, okay. Gave me the piece of paper. He said, okay, go in that booth, and when the green light comes on, you say the first line. When the green light comes on again, you say the second line. Have a drink of water. So okay. So I walk in this little booth and I pick up the glass. Drink my water and wait for the green light. The green light comes on. In a world, green light again. We're one man. Green light again. Blah, 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 blah. I can't remember what the script was. And through the glass window, because I'm in a booth, but I can see them, and all I could see was teeth. Everybody's like, wow. Very animated, but I couldn't hear. So I just finished this piece, and then I said, is that okay? And 1 minute. And they came through, and he's shaking my, when they give you that handshake that they don't want to let go. A handshake is like 3
Both
seconds.
hands.
But he held on to my goddamn hand, and he just wouldn't stop. Yes, that was fantastic. Brilliant. And everyone's like, what have we discovered here? So I didn't think nothing of it. So yeah,
Did you know you had like a unique voice? Obviously, prior to this, were you aware that you're had this?
Because I wasn't thinking about voiceovers or nothing. I just thought, okay, I got a deep voice and girls like it. That's what I knew. That was as far as it went. And so anyway, I get home and I'm good. And then my wife says to me, oh, this guy keeps ringing the phone off the hook here. He keeps calling and asking for you. I says, oh, that must be, I forgot what his name was, Dean. And I says, yeah. So anyway, he rings me back on my mobile phone, because when I'm on the underground, a lot of the time the phone cut out because you're underground, right?
Oh, reception.
And so he got a hold of me the next day and he said, I'd like you to come in to do a voiceover the following day. And I says, shit, because I knew I started work then. So to cut the long story short, I went to work, even though I knew he'd already booked me. And then halfway through the day, I rang the controller of the train line, and I says, yeah, I need to take a physical needs relief. We call it a PNR. Anytime you want to go to, number 1 or number 2, you could take a relief, but you had a relief driver pick up your train, take it southbound. He'll bring it back up north, and you pick it up from where you took your relief.
How long was the time? How long of a time slot did that give you then?
I had about 40 minutes, but I said, I can do this. I can just go in there, do this quick voiceover, get out, and I'm good. But in reality, when I got to the studio, I didn't realize that if you got a 1 o'clock appointment, that doesn't mean that you're going to be working at 1 o'clock. So when I get there on time, he says, yo, take a seat. And I'm thinking, my train's coming back. No, I need to be now. But I didn't want to say that to him because I don't mind telling him. He offered me 600 pounds per week back in the day when I was earning 330 quid for a 48-hour week. 300 quid for a 48-hour week. And he was offering me 600 pounds for 1 hour. 1 hour.
That's crazy.
So to me, it's like,
hard to turn down.
It's crazy. So I couldn't turn it down.
Change your life.
So now I'm thinking, I don't want to disappoint him, but I was also thinking, the train's coming back, man. I got to pick my train up. I'm going to lose my job. Anyway, I ended up missing my train. The other driver had to continue. I got myself in trouble, but then I booked off of the Railway 6, and I was not feeling well. I'm not this, and I took time out because I wanted to keep on doing these voiceovers. I didn't realize that in my contract, they'd already taken photographs of me. And because they were so happy about discovering this fantastic new voice, they put me front page on the Evening Standard, which is a newspaper that just goes all over London every single day. Bang,
so your boss would have seen that.
I'm standing there with a great big smile on my face, lovely suit and everything, and they've got the headline, From Underground to Hollywood. And my friends are ringing the phone. Hey, Red, have you seen the papers? I said, what? Look at the papers, man. You're everywhere. You're on the news. You're on the radio. People are trying to get a hold of you. I'm thinking, me? Little old me. Well, big old me because I'm 6'4". But he was like, yeah. So all of a sudden it's like, shit. Next thing I get is a call from the underground. We'd like to speak to you. because I've been off sick for a couple of months, and they were paying me top money because I was a valued train driver. And basically, I got the sack because it was like, you're
Yeah.
taking the piss out of us. And but I started to panic a bit because this contract that I had was only for 24 months. And I thought, damn, I've been driving these trains for 13 years, safe. I got a 24-month contract. I got kids growing. I need to be working. And somebody in the studio said to me, I think his name was Rob, but I forget his last name, at a place called Angel Sounds in Covent Garden. He said, just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. You have a gift. Just believe in yourself. Enjoy it. And he was so right, because from there, I started getting gigs for Coca-Cola, for big high-end products. I'd go in there and I'd do whatever it was, whatever script they gave me.
Yeah.
And then I'd get the paycheck about a month later. My agent, because I got myself an agent, by the way.
Yeah.
And I got this wad of money from Coca-Cola. And to me, I went into a studio for an hour and said some words.
Yeah.
But to them, it's advertising. They are going to put that advert out countrywide, all over the States, in the UK, wherever they wanted to put it. So they're making millions out of these adverts and enticing people to buy their products. So to pay me a five-figure sum, it was it was plenty of money. It was nothing. So I called my agent. I says, listen, I think they've made a mistake. They paid me like how many thousands of pounds. I went into a studio for 20 minutes or whatever. And I just thought, as a human being, as a God-fearing man, I just thought, be honest, be straight. So she just laughed at me. She said, Red. Welcome to the world of voiceovers. I said, what do you mean? I says, they are putting that advert out in all 51 states. They're putting it out in this place, that place, whatever. And they paid you a paltry, it wasn't paltry to me, something like, I don't know, 15
But to
grand,
what they
whatever it
earn
was,
from
it was a lot of money. And so enjoy it. That's nothing to them. And I thought, that's something to me. Christ.
Yeah.
And that's when I started realizing what I was into. These kind of jobs didn't come every single day. A lot of the time it was for simple things like television promos. Coming up tonight on BBC One, they just pay you little paltry money. But for big time adverts and stuff like that, I got a lot of money. Then all of a sudden, someone says, who is that guy? We could use him on the movies. All of a sudden, I'm doing In a World, One Man, coming soon, this year, Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith. I'm doing lots of movies back to back. And wait a minute. I'm thinking, me, little old me. But I will tell you, just as I know you are, that's what drew me to you. You're a very humble man, as am I.
Thanks.
I'm a very humble man.
Yeah, so I agree, you are.
I don't let money dictate me or control me. I was raised with 6 sisters, 3 brothers, big family. I know what it's like to be scrapping. I know what it's like to just have some flour and some sugar and some salt and some lemons and how to feed 5 people with nothing. I know how to, and I know how to.
It's important that you remember that too.
Exactly. I never changed. So I knew what that was about. So to get a bit of money, it was like, yeah, okay, I got some money now, but am I going to turn into some kind of a crazy person? And I said, no, it's not going to happen. And
that would worry you that you would that the money would change you, because it does change some people. But I guess it depends on the type of person you are, and you're clearly not that type of person.
No, definitely not. So, and that's why I admire you. And I look at your social media and stuff, and I see your family as warm. That's beautiful. The thing I love about you, your stage presence and the I don't mean this in a negative way, but the violence, that's the only way I can say it. Not the violence, the energy, that's the word. The energy in your music is totally different to your reality, your peaceful life,
thanks.
Your loving wife, your loving children. That's the beauty about you. I can see that you know where it's really at, you know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
It's beautiful.
Appreciate that. So if you when you were driving these trains, did you have like a plan? Were you like, oh, I'm just going to drive trains for a while and do something else? Or
Listen, I was made up because to be driving trains, it's one of those jobs that you have to lose it yourself to lose it. You have to really screw up to lose it. If you're a
okay,
train driver, you're a train driver for life. You
yeah,
understand?
like
It's
a
one of those
retirement job.
jobs. They've trained you up. They've all the rest of it. You know your job, and a lot of
Mm,
folks don't understand. Drivers are mechanics, because when you're in a tunnel and your train malfunctions, there is no roadside rescue. There is no
mm,
RAC or AA or green flag or nothing like that. You got to fix it. You're there with 1,000 passengers behind you, and your train is stuck. You're in a tunnel.
yeah,
What you gonna do? You got to know your onions. So you got to go through a lot of checks and trip this and short break and what do you call it? I forget, so many switches and MCBs and miniature circuit breakers you got to check and this, that, and you got to get out your cab and walk through the train and check this underneath there's, you had to do everything. So you had to know your trains, not just drive them.
yeah.
Driving
Did you
them
ever
is
get in a
the easy
pickle
part.
with them? Did you ever get in a pickle? Or did you ever get stuck
Yeah.
in the
My,
train? And
listen, my train caught fire. Yeah, they call it
yeah, right.
arcing underneath, when the shoes arc underneath,
Okay, yeah,
be touching the
yeah,
current. The train caught fire at Paddington one time, but you gotta know what you're doing, because the smoke builds up. It's acrid smoke,
yeah. Carbon
and
monoxide and
and because you
yeah,
are in a tunnel, even the train stations
mm,
are in a tunnel. People don't realize that, and you got to get people out fast, and you can't panic. You can't crap yourself. You can't. You got to be focused and set it right. You go
yeah,
into a certain mode, you realize you can't do nothing, you got to get the current off to stop the arcing, you got to get the people out. It's you. And if the station is undermanned, you got to be extra vigilant, because you may leave somebody on the train who fell asleep earlier on. You don't know. So there's lots more to driving the train. A lot of people used to say,
yeah.
you're getting paid just to just turn a handle and press a button. Man, what kind of job is that? How dare you go on strike? They don't know nothing about the trains.
No,
So
no.
it was a
I
great
get the
job.
same for my job.
But yeah, I had to lose that, so I didn't have any plan. I just thought, well, I'm going to be a train driver for life. Maybe after 10 years, I'll become an area manager and whatever, and have a career with the London Underground. That was my
Mm,
so-called plan, because I had kids growing up. I had little kids, young kids. One of my sons was just 2 years old at the time. My daughter was about 6, something like that. I was just starting my family, really, and then I just decided that after getting sacked, that I would make a career out of voiceovers, but I didn't intentionally get into voiceovers. It was given to me. God gave it
yeah,
to me, because that was the path that was designed for me. And I've
that's
never
cool,
looked back,
man.
to be honest, never looked back, but I've stayed humble. And that's one of the things that I'm really proud of. I haven't got above myself. Do you know who I am? Yes, I don't do that bullshit. I don't do it. I'm real.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's good. It's pretty rare too, I think, from
Yeah.
in my experience anyway. But it's more rare than what it should be,
Hmm.
you know. But
Yeah.
so obviously I should probably explain to anyone that's going to listen to this how we got in contact, because probably people wonder. It's a bit of a strange kind of circumstance, isn't it?
Yep.
I live in Perth, in the most remote city in the world,
Mm.
and somehow got in contact with you. Well,
Well,
also I used. Sorry, I'll cut you off there.
no, well, to contact me, I mean, what you mean for voiceovers and stuff?
No,
Harvey
how
voices.
we. No, how you and I got in, how we got to speaking, and
Oh,
how we got
I
in
came
contact.
across you, and because I play a little bit of guitar, when I see you play guitar, it's like I really can't play guitar. I play a little bit of
Oh,
classical,
I'm not even that good.
I'm Julian Bream and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
I'm, John Williams. I'm a classical kind of guitarist, and
yeah,
but I saw your stuff, and I was trying to recognize what kind of music it is you play, but it was the guitars and your
mm.
tattoos and everything. I says, "Who's this dude? Let me check him out." And I heard your music, and can I drop some of it here for you,
Yeah, go for it.
if
Do
it's
the
if it's
voiceover
interesting?
over it too. That
And
was funny.
And I was just thinking, I'm sure my voice could do something like that, because sometimes I do little evil characters and whatever. I'm not even sure if this will do it any justice, the quality of this, but maybe. And I was thinking, off the top, what will you do today? What will you do tomorrow? Tomorrow is today. Today is tomorrow. Just stuff like that. I'm not even sure if that came out, but
I did.
but simple stuff. We've got my voice. I can be really evil. Now, it don't sound so evil because you can see me, but if you can hear that in a cinema or on a stage, really well, the soundcraft has been done brilliantly, and you hear everything meshed together. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The very first time I heard. The
first time I heard.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'll cut you off there.
No, but the very first time I heard your stuff, that's the first thing I thought. I got to do something with this. I got to do something with this. This is so cool, and that's why I contacted you. Befriended you on Instagram, and I says, "Brother, can I use some of your music?" And you said, "Oh yeah, no problem." I says,
I thought it was fake at first when you contacted me. I spoke to my bandmates because, just a bit of a backstory for anyone listening. I obviously played ShadowMan when I was a kid.
Okay,
probably 13, 14 years old, I guess. Was the late 90s, wasn't it? It was about 99 or something like that.
It was 99. We made it in 97, I think it was, around about there.
Yeah, so I was in my teens and I was playing this video game, and Red was voicing the main character, and I was just infatuated with this game. I was obsessed. It was an unhealthy obsession.
Oh, yes.
And I've just loved the game ever since. It's probably one of my favourite games of all time. And then I started following you on Instagram. I think I started following you, and then liked a couple of your things. And it's just crazy how it's just wouldn't have ever thought that would happen, that I'd actually be speaking to you, because I obsessed over that game.
You see, that's the thing. I mean, I'm one of these cats. Like I said, I'm very grounded, very humble, and I don't want to go down the road to disrespect or show no appreciation for people in general. Now, as you said, ShadowMan was an iconic game, and I didn't actually recognize how iconic it was until I started getting lots and lots of people telling me all about it, and we still play it. And they say, go and quote a line, and do you remember the opening? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I do. Go on, do it for us. And,
that's crazy you remember that, because you've done so much work.
Well, you see, what was the opening lines? I am the Lord of Deadside, shadowborn at the confluence of the worlds to walk between. Life side is without meaning here in Deadside. That kind of stuff, and Nettie and all the rest of it, and it's beautiful. And I don't want to be one of those guys who, yes, you say, oh, I really like ShadowMan, and I'll say, yeah, whatever. I don't do that, because so many stars, they depend on people to bring them up. And then the second they get up there and they got billions of followers and they got billions of pounds in the bank, and all of a sudden those same people who they wanted to idolize them, they are saying, they're driving around with the darkest of dark tints. I do that. I do, but mine is just to be cool. I'm not hiding
aesthetics.
From nobody. But and then they got 25 bouncers around them and all the rest of it.
The entourage,
and they want to have 15 dressing rooms when they get to a gig, and they act like prima donnas. I will never in my life, ever in my life, get like that. For instance, I was doing that motion capture thing a few days ago for another huge game which is coming out. Should be August, but it's probably going to be late. And there was a limited space to get changed, to get undressed, basically, to put myself into this suit. And they says, oh, we're so sorry, Red. The facilities are a little bit limited here. I do apologize. And I says, shut up, will you? And I says, has anybody got a problem with seeing my ball sack? And it's like, oh, no. I said, well, shut up. Shit, come on. It's on your body. And I got changed in front of everybody. No big deal. Now, there's other people who says, well, the facilities were absolutely terrible there, and I can't work like this. You know who I am. No, bullshit.
No.
I'm just real.
Yeah.
We're going to be a family. We're going to be unified. You're going to have directors there and sound engineers there and tech guys there. We are a family for this project. So I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. We work as one. And that's what makes everything
It's a
work.
good attitude.
So I don't
Proactive,
bullshit.
good attitude.
I'm just real. I don't come and ask for any kind of special treatment. I just don't do it. And people don't understand that. It's like, he's so different. My God, I thought he was going to be. No, I'm just real. And that's the way I always want to be.
I love that. I love that, man. That's awesome. Well, like what I was getting back to what I was saying was when you messaged me, I think I rang my bandmates and I was like, and the vocalist of our band loves ShadowMan as well.
Oh, cool.
And I told him, and he's like, "No, that's got to be fake." And I was like, "Yeah, I think it's fake. I don't know, maybe it's one of them fake accounts." And I was like, "It's good to be." I said, "But I follow him, and he's put up videos, but maybe he's been like hacked or something."
No.
And then you sent me a link to a Zoom call, I think, and I said, "This is where I'll find out if he's real or not."
Yeah, there you go.
And then we had that chat, and yeah, man, that was it's mind blowing. It's cool though, and I do appreciate you. I'm sure you're super busy, and I appreciate you taking the time out.
It's Sunday. It's cool. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I'm deep down, I'm a human being, and simple little things go far in me. I've always say to give is to receive. Simple little thing. I was trying not to be big-headed about stuff, but I was offered, a fat wad of money to do something. Maybe it was 4 weeks ago, and I said to you, that money doesn't drive me. It's not because I got lots of money in the bank. It's nothing to do with that. I've always been like this. It's a case of, if I give you my word, if I say to you, Fabian, I'm going to be here at this time on this date, and we'll set it in stone. And then, oh gosh, in between me making that promise to you, something else comes up. And I'm going to do a podcast with you because you are looking forward to it and because I agreed to do it. And something came up and says, oh, Red, I got a gig here for you. It's going to pay you 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever. Yeah, I'm not interested. Not because I'm a prima donna. It's because I have made a promise to somebody, and it's nothing to do with the money. If they can wait till next week, great. If I miss out on it, great. It ain't no big deal. So I'm not going to let you down all of a sudden. Well, sorry, something else came up. I don't do that. I don't
Appreciate that.
That's how I am with my whole life. That's how I do. I do not, cherry pick. If I set it in stone, it's in stone. The only thing that can stop it is illness or whatever. But,
yeah, of course, something unforeseen. Yeah, but I think that's probably why you've had such a long and successful career, because you have those kind of morals, because I think if you're, like you say, a prima donna, people get sick of their shit, and eventually once your usefulness wears off,
exactly.
You know what I mean? You're kind of cast aside. But if you're always...
You got to give to receive. You got to give to receive.
That's correct,
it's as simple as that. You got to give to receive. You got to take your chance. You got to believe in yourself. Something simple like... let me try to be positive about stuff. Supposing you've got, I'm trying to be not crude, but you got a small pot to piss in. That's the only way I can put this across. You only got a small pot to piss in, but you got a massive dream. You got a big dream. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then you sit down and you say, yeah, but to be that, you've got to spend here. You got to spend there. You got to spend that. Say my studio here, right? I will sit down and I will say, okay, I'm going to get myself a studio. But the microphone I'm speaking into costs $1,000. This other microphone is going to cost $3,000. The microphone stand is going to cost me $150. The pop
Mm.
shield is going to cost me 50. The camera is going to cost me $2,000. The computer is going to cost me $2,000. The mixing board is going to cost me a few grand. The battery packs is going to cost me this. The audio interface. What about the computer? What about the other computer? What about the booth that I'm in? That's going to cost me $12,000. What about the office space? What about, so it adds up, and you can sit
Yeah, it
down.
does.
I can sit down and say, I want to be this, yeah, but I never want to be a yeah, but guy. I want to be I gave it a go. Let's give it a
Yeah.
try. Let's go for it. Let's go against the odds. So I'll say, okay, what's it going to be? If I spend all of that, I'm going to have nothing. And then you start messing, your mind starts messing with you. Yeah, but what if it doesn't work? But what if I don't? But what if
it does work though?
Go for it. Me, I'm
Yeah.
one of those, go for it. Don't dip your foot in the water. Jump in the water.
That's right. Because the opportunity you don't take might be the one that's...
Man, listen, the reason I got into voiceovers, the real reason was my attitude. And attitude, I'll tell everybody, is my favorite word. Attitude. Right. Now, you may say, I got lucky. You may say this. You may say you were in the right place at the right time, whatever. And I say it was because I got off my ass in the morning. Now, if it's raining outside or snowing outside and you're self-employed, it's easy for you to say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go to work tomorrow. You know what? To hell with this, man. Oh, look at the snow outside. And there's another character with a different attitude who'll say, right, what type of boots shall I put on? What coat shall I wear? Shall I wear these thick gloves? Shall I wear this? But their mindset is, I'm going. Snow is not going to stop me. Rain is not going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me. And on that day where their attitude took them to work, they met somebody who changed their life. Now, Mr. Sleepyhead or Mrs. Sleepyhead were laying on their beautiful duvet playing with themselves. Yeah, they great. They had an orgasm. Whoopee-doo. Right? And it was cool. Ain't nothing wrong with an orgasm. You know that. I know that, right? But reality is, that's all they got. Then they went back to sleep. They had their cup of tea. They watched a bit of television. And they woke up the next day with the same attitude, and they decided not to go to work. Meanwhile, that guy down the road who, you know, he's got the right attitude. He may not have a lot of money or maybe not have this, but the opportunity hit him in the face. Because as you know, just like you and I are talking now, you were doing your stuff. Imagine you're over here, you know, you're in Australia and you're doing this for the years and years. And I'm a million miles over there in England or America or France, because I'm all over the place most of the time. And somewhere, look, we're doing our shit. I don't know nothing about you. You don't know nothing about me. But somehow, ping. That's how it works. The universe is a son of a bitch. It does its own thing. And if you believe something's going to happen, it will happen gradually. It comes to you. I honestly believe that. And that attitude of mine, getting up off my behind at 4 o'clock in the morning to start a 5:30 shift, that's what got me to where I am.
That's right.
My attitude.
That's I know some people that are, as you're saying, they're always complain about adversity, whereas myself, I just get on with it. You know what I mean? Or I don't ever talk about doing something. I'll just do it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like I don't like to say I'm going to do something, and I'd hate going back on my word. So if I'm saying I'm going to do something, if then something comes up and it's going to be hard to do it, I'll just pull some strings and even, you know, somehow just get it to happen, because I don't like going back on my word.
Well, this is the beauty about life. It's our perspective on things. Some people will say this is hard, and some people will say it's easy, and some people will say this, and some people will say that. A lot of people think I'm damn crazy, right? Because I've sat down at seminars, and I do a lot of public speaking, and I do a lot of inspirational speaking to people. And I do not speak anything from my mouth that I do not practice myself. Every time I drink, I say thank you. Every time I get in my truck in the mornings, I say thank you. You call it Ute over there, right? Or Bucky, right?
Yeah,
I got
you.
a Ranger over here, a Ford Ranger. It's all black. It's all
Oh
nice.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
beautiful, right? And I'm going
yeah.
to get the new one in a couple months too. I like that. But every day that I walk on the planet Earth, I say thank you. Now, I said this to something to a group of people the other day. I says, okay, what do you guys do when you get a bill, when a bill drops on your doorstep? Hands up who moans about it. About 90% of people put their hands up. Hands up who just don't even bother to open it and ignore it. That was the other 10%, right? And I says, hands up who says thank you. And everybody laughed. Everybody shut up and say fucking thank you for a bill. I says, okay, let me put it this way. I say thank you every time I see a bill. And they all assume that already, yeah, but you're fucking minted. You're this and that. No, you don't know my journey at all. Majority, I'll tell you, between you and me, and probably on your podcast, I give away most of my money.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be buried with it, right? I do a lot of charity work and this, that, and the other. So
Yeah.
I'm good. But I always say thank you when I see a bill. And the reason why I say thank you, this is where people will actually understand it. Let's go back to this microphone. I spent $1,000 for this microphone, for instance. And I get the bill for the microphone, right? Imagine if I got a bill come through my door for the microphone. You say, oh, Jesus, not another bill. No! You've got to say thank you for the bill, because I'm enjoying that microphone. I'm enjoying that car. I'm enjoying that heating. I'm enjoying cooking my food on the gas. I'm enjoying the electricity that's allowing me to sleep at night.
It's an interesting perspective.
I'm enjoying it. So how dare you not say thank you, because that's what you're paying for. You're paying for something that you enjoy. You're enjoying your Porsche.
And then that's paying your bills too, really.
Exactly.
If you're using that microphone to make
That's
money.
all it is.
Yeah.
It's a part of what you wanted, and you're enjoying. You're enjoying the clothes. You're enjoying the new Air Jordans or whatever you choose. You're enjoying it all. So when the bill comes, you pick the bill and say, hey, thank you. Kiss it. And people say, man, you daft. You're stupid. You're stupid. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Think about it.
I think
it's away the stress.
Got its merits. Yeah, it does. It does, because I think it just puts you in a bad mindset as soon as you get the bill, and then you start swearing and cursing about it. But if you just it is what it is. If you just think, oh, it is what it is, then it's don't allow it to.
Very calm. Yeah. And learn to breathe and learn to meditate and learn to be at one with yourself.
That's right.
When you're one with yourself, and don't get me into all that third eye and inspiration and
align your chakras and
because that's the basis of it all. You knowing yourself and understanding yourself, and realization is nothing without action. I realize I was a damn fool, but I'm going to be a fool again. If you realize it, act upon it. Act upon it. You see it every single day. You see people walk out of the church after being sanctified and all the rest of it, and they're acting like they just, every single Sunday I go to church with my family. And then the following hour, the following 2 hours, somebody will ask them for $10 in the street, and the first thing comes out their mouth is, fuck off.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? It's all BS sometimes. So if you're going to be real to yourself, true to yourself, be the person. Be the person that you want people to see you as. Don't pretend. That's all nonsense.
That's I think social media has exacerbated that.
Yeah.
Or just it's what's the word? It's just growing that kind of mentality of people, like you see people film themselves paying for people's groceries or buying a homeless person food. It's like, why don't you just do it? What do you need validation for that? Just do it out of the goodness of your heart.
Well, that's the thing.
Don't tell anyone about it either. Just do it.
You see, I totally understand you. I totally get you. We're on the same level on that, because the bottom line is we are all human. Now, if you go on
Yeah.
anybody's Facebook page or social media page or whatever page it is, they're trying to present themselves as the person they want to be seen as, and
Yeah.
not the true person. If you stop and think about it and you really break it down, if you see somebody every single day they post on Facebook, they're laughing, they're joking, they're this, they're that, and then it's a really, 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 jumping up and down every single day. They're doing something just for attention, because that's our number one drug, our number one crave. It's not cocaine. It's not nothing like that. It's not marijuana. Our number one crave is attention. Everybody wants attention. Look at me. Look at me.
Yep. Everyone does too. I play gigs because I want attention for my music, and
of course,
I would never deny that. Yeah.
See, my radio shows will be nothing without listeners. But the
That's
listeners,
right.
there's some buzz I get, some ego trip, I guess, that we get.
Yeah.
We get because we love it. And I could sit down in my home all day long and play music. But without friends listening to that music, that becomes sad. Because you're only enjoying that memory with yourself. You got nobody to relate with. Whereas somebody can open their mouth and says, oh, I remember when we went to that club. Remember that club called the Cat's Whiskers? And remember Bally High down there in Streatham? Remember when we used to go to the ice rink and they used to play Oops Upside Your Head? I was like, oh man, yeah, I got that. And we go, say Oops Upside Your Head, say Oops Upside. And you start singing it. And everyone's go, oh yeah, that's a tune. Yeah, that whole ambience changes. Whereas if you're sitting down playing Oops Upside Your Head, you're thinking in your mind, yeah, I used to go to the Lyceum Ballroom and listen to this. I used to go to Crackers. I used to go to the Global Village. Yeah, I remember that club. Ain't nobody but you. You're just by yourself.
Yeah.
And then that's sad. It's like me. What time is it over there?
Now, it's 10 to 5 p.m., so 4:50 p.m.
Is it a Sunday?
Yes, yeah.
Do you drink on Sundays?
I don't really drink much anymore.
Well, I'm just gonna have a beer in a minute.
Go for it, man. I would love to have one with you, but I'm not supposed to really drink anymore. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, so it's a medical issue. I think it's like a mild liver disease. So
well, good
it's
luck
from a
with
medication I used to take. So.
Well, I have one a day. Seriously, so
what is it? What are you drinking?
This is a Bud. That's all it is. It's a little Bud. Budweiser. I don't drink per se. I'm the guy who's got. My wife is Indian, so her religion, her way of life, her not so much the religion, her culture is the word, is to never have somebody come to the house and not be able to feed them. Or not be able to give them a drink, or not be able to be hospitable to them. So my home is like a goddamn shop. My wife will go to the shop and she'll buy 100 beers. Baby, nobody drinks beer. I don't drink Bud, general, but because I go in the fridge, there's one there, I say, oh, let's have a Bud, right?
Yeah.
There's probably 100 bottles of water. There's probably 100 cans of soda pop. Coke and 7-Up and God knows what. And I says, girl, what are you doing? And then there's go in another cupboard, there's like 10 bottles of whiskey. Whiskey's been there for like 5 years. Seriously, nobody drinks. I'm not a big drinker. Yeah. And so she's got everything. 10 bottles of bleach, 10 bottles of washing up liquid. She's got everything in bulk. And
prepared for the for an apocalypse.
And I said,
doomsday prepper.
We don't need this. She goes, yeah, but if somebody comes round, and she got 50 blankets. Yeah, but if family comes round, supposing at least they could crash in the front room. I don't want to. She wants to please everybody. So when I first met her, I thought, what is she on? This is different. I'm used to.
Some people get a kick out of it though. My mum's like that. Like she will let anyone she doesn't even know almost stay at her house, and she just loves tending to them and cooking for them. And I'm thinking, do you even know? What are you doing? I would never let them in my house, whatever. But that's just the way Mum is.
It's amazing. It's a maternal thing. It's a dare I say, it's a woman thing. I don't mean that in any demeaning or any kind of, don't attach anything to it. dear listener or viewer, it's a female thing. It's a maternal thing, a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Nurture, because females generally are nurturers, right?
Yeah.
The male are usually providers. I got to say usually because 2023, everybody's upside
Yeah.
down now. But naturally, women
Yes.
are nurturers. So a man
Especially
will.
Bud nowadays. Did you see the ad?
Which one?
The Bud ad. The Bud Light ad. Did you
Oh,
see that recently? The advert?
oh, maybe that's a different one in Australia. They got none over here.
I think it was in the US. I saw it all over the internet. They had a guy on there that's masquerading as a woman.
Oh, I haven't seen
Did
that
the
yet.
advert, and they lost a ton of revenue, and yeah,
Oh,
I won't go into it, but it's
oh, that's yeah. Yeah, my memory's kicked in. Laying in the bath, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Let's not talk about that. But don't open that can of worms because I'm very.
No,
I got strong views about all that stuff, so I'll leave that alone for another day.
yeah,
But you know, it's a funny world we live in, and everybody's PC, and everybody's woke, and everybody's this, and everybody's that, and you know,
yeah,
when people of another race are telling another race that they're offended. You know,
yes.
like white folks are
So
telling
they're
black folks they're
offended on their
offended.
behalf.
We're not offended.
'Cause-
You know, I'll
Yeah.
never forget when they said, "Right, we've decided that we can't sing Ba Ba Black Sheep anymore." And I'm thinking, why not? Well, we find it's offensive to the black community. Who said so? It's like,
Yeah.
little stupid things.
It's people being offended on others' behalves. It's
Oh,
like they
man.
want the attention.
It's
They want the
wrong.
attention of it. It's. I think that's social media as well, because everyone, they want to take their photos at a certain rallies or this or that and put them up on social media. But it's like you don't live like that.
Yeah,
Like
no.
you're just doing that just for the clout.
Exactly.
You don't truly believe that. You don't truly believe it.
Man, listen, I'm so long in the tooth now and so full of wisdom that I don't even react to these things. I smile and I say, you know what, let it come out in the rinse, let it be, because what I
Yeah.
say to people nowadays is not what they believe. They'll listen, it'll go in one ear and out one ear.
Yeah.
And I've just raised my tolerance level. I've recognized that I got 6 kids. My eldest is 40 years old, and my youngest has just turned 20 2 days ago. And they live. This controls them. The mobile phone controls them totally. I mean, totally. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to learn nothing. We're back in the day. What's 25 divided by 17 plus 85? Hey, Google, what's 25 divided by 17? And they got their answer. They don't have to study. They don't have, handwriting has gone to shit. Then nobody can handwrite no more. Simple little things people don't know. I'd say to somebody, I was born in Barbados. Oh, is that even a country? It's like, they don't have a clue about anything.
No.
Nothing is
that's
just
right.
a different world, even down to intimacy. They're growing up with pornography in their hand. So the young pups, they don't have a clue about intimacy and about sensitivity or emotion. They just think, yeah, I'm going to do the do. And then the women say, wait a minute. No, you don't treat me like that. But they're people that are used to porn. People don't know nothing about love and emotion and devotion.
And it's in music a lot as well. I will say that, like a lot of music has normalized like sexualization of things, or or probably some certain bad morals or
big
things
time,
like that. But
big time. I mean, we don't want to sit on a moral high ground or nothing like that. But even the C word, it's commonplace in movies now. Everything is like, let's go one stage further. Let's actually see the knife go through the man's eye in slow motion. Let's make it as maximum gross as we can. It's got to that point where it's like, really, I can't get shocked by a movie. My wife still cringes. Oh, And I'm just looking at the technical detail. How did they do that? I'm just, maybe they reversed the camera. Maybe they, I'm like that. So I can't even enjoy a decent movie. My kind of decent movie is Cool Hand Luke and HUD. And I go back to the 50s and I can watch Laurel and Hardy all day. I can watch all that nonsense. But now it's all tits and ass and tits and ass and tits and ass. And, men pretending to be women.
A ton of violence.
And super makeup, and everybody's got eyelashes 7 inches long now, and it's just gone crazy. So I just say, you know what? I'm not going to diss nobody. Let people get along. I appreciate that I was from another era, and I will mix with people from my era. And if a young lad or a young woman wants to talk to me and learn something from past, I'll just send it to them, and hopefully it will stick. If it doesn't stick, good luck to you. You're living your life. This is your time. My time has passed. And that's the way I see it. I can't really argue with them because I'll be arguing forever.
I'm sure every generation goes through this though, like every generation, the previous generation probably doesn't finds it hard to adjust, I guess, to the new normal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's true. And we become our parents.
It's a bit extreme.
Yeah, we end up saying what our parents said. How many times did you hear your parents say, "Oh, what goes around comes around," and the fashions go around? I used to wear that when I was 17, and you wear something, and now you're saying you well, not yet because your kids are young, aren't they? But you'll get to that point where they'll be starting to wear what you're wearing now, which they thought wasn't fashionable. I remember when I used to wear my white basketball socks halfway up my ankle, right? And my boy would laugh at me because I got a pair of flip-flops. Well, they call it sliders now or something. The sandals, right? And I'll wear that. And he said, "Dad, oh, man, that's embarrassing, man. No, you can't wear, you wear white socks." Now, what's my boy wearing? He doesn't have a black pair of socks to his name. He wears white socks and the sandals or the sliders, as he called it. I guess I'm used to all this lingo up here. "What, mate, geezer? You're having a laugh, mate." That's how they talk here, and it's all good. But so I just recognize that I'm from a different era, even though I'm not old. Old is a state of mind, but I'm in my 60s now. I still feel like I'm in my 30s, to be honest with you. I'm still young and fit enough, even though I busted my knees up. But so I just don't argue no more. I just say, you know what? That's the way you do. That's your time. When I was my time, my father didn't understand me. So I'm just being my father now. Get on with it. You see them they're gonna fall down. Let them fall. Yeah. Be there for them if they want you to help them. Pick them up.
Yeah.
So
that's it's because I even remember just even about parents complain about TV when I was younger, and then now kids have got iPads. And
well, listen. I've sat down and I heard, because I was in the ballpark of telling kids, get off your damn phone. And then I actually stopped and I thought, no, before you criticize, analyze. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? Turn off the television. Sat in the room. I says, turn off the television. And I says, what? I says, I'm just showing you a little something here because I'm always in teaching mode. I can't help myself. Turn off the television. And I got a big old 85-inch screen there and all the fancy speakers and whatever as standard because I love my movies. And turn off the television. And I says, right, everybody, look at the television. The television's off. Blank screen. Okay. Sit down here for 5 minutes. See if you can make it 5 minutes and just look at that television. And then looked at the television. Obviously, my wife pipes up, "What's your point?" She always does. And I says, well, this is exactly what we're doing. We're sitting down in a room looking at a great big television. That television is no different to the iPod. That's no different to the iPad. Their entertainment is on that iPhone or whatever it is, and our entertainment is on the screen. We're telling them to get off their iPhone. We're on a big iPhone. That's what we're doing. It's exactly the same. different entertainment.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And I says, what you need to do is get out the house. What you need to do is converse.
That's
What
right.
you need to do is not have that as center of attention. What you need to do is put yourself on television mode for 4 hours a day. And I says, it's not draconian. Why are you going backwards? I said, no, I'm not. It's because we're losing. You'll never win the fight because too
No.
many people are on it. But to have conversation, to have that family time, to turn the television off when everybody's eating, remove the iPhones when everybody's eating, you are 1 in a million. So you're not popular. So what do? You just go along with it and become desensitized like the rest of them? Or do you insist? Now, I insist when it comes to Sunday dinner. Nobody comes in my kitchen or my living room or my place of eating with a phone or any kind of mobile device. Switch it off.
Yeah.
I will lose it. I will absolutely lose it. You'll see the other side of red then. It's like, I just lose it. So it's about dinner. It's about community. It's about bonding. Even if you are rushing your food so that you can get back to your iPhone, because that's what happens. The youngsters start to rush the food. Oh my God, my umbilical cord. It's in my pocket. I can't touch it. So they rush their food. That was nice. Bye. That's right. So that's
what I do with my daughter. If she's watching anything, she just takes forever to eat. 45 minutes to eat dinner, and then by the time she gets halfway through, it's stone cold. It's hard to eat.
Yeah.
And so I've just said, no iPads, no TVs, and then you never see her eat so fast.
Bam, 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 bam. There you go. Yeah.
Just about chokes on her food,
Yeah, because their dinner is like this. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is the dinner. The dinner goes. Fork goes down. Phone's up. Fork is there. They still got food in their mouth because they're so engrossed in that they've stopped moving their mouth.
Yeah.
Eat your dinner. I am eating. 5 minutes later, they've got the same food in their mouth. And then you got a whole meal that took 2 hours. Like I said, stone cold. They still pretend that they like it. Then they leave it because it's not so appetizing. But,
Oh, I'm full. I actually caught her. She has to go to the toilet, but goes spits her food in the toilet.
Yeah.
Caught that. No, she was only 3 at the time. I was like, wow. That's. I'm actually I'm not angry. I'm impressed.
My boy's in the toilet for like an hour and a half, doing nothing.
On the phone. And I said, dead legs.
I said, boy, come out of the toilet. And it's not like he's done nothing, because you come in, you go in there and it smells like roses. He hasn't done a damn thing. And I says, what you doing in there? You in there playing with yourself? And he says, no, Dad. I says, hell yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you are. And it's like, I was young too. It's like, yes, you are. Yeah, you go blind. No. When he gets all embarrassed, it's just, I can't even smell a fart in here. And it's like, yeah, but just shut up. Because that's exactly what he does. He goes in there, it's like, damn, and he's on his whatever it is. I know he's in there playing with himself, but what can you do? They're kids, man. They're kids.
Oh, God.
I keep it real. Like I said, I keep it real. I'm not stupid. I keep it real, and he doesn't like it because you start talking to him about stuff like that, and he just gets all. I says, listen, if I can't tell you, nobody can tell you. You should be able to talk to me about any goddamn thing, right? And I'll run it by him how I used to be, and I'll show him that I used to do that, and I used to do this, and every 5 minutes, the second the doors closed, I was on it. I said, mate, that's how it is when you're young. When you're young, every 5 minutes is up, it's up, it's up. You get to a certain stage in your life, then you get up once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, but every day. Sometimes you're not even thinking about nothing. You're sitting on the train and bang, we're kids. That's how we were. You see, you just had to glimpse a woman smile at you. Bang! That's how it was. And now you're more controlled. But at your age, son, don't give me that crap. And don't give me no stained sheets for mom to wash either. No. So, that's why you're in the toilet all the time. Dad. And then mom will say, leave it.
Say, just to snap the sheets up to get them in the washing machine.
Exactly. But it's all fun. That's all part of having kids, and I got lots of them, been through it all, and I got one beautiful daughter and 5 sons, and it's been a rocky road, but a beautiful road. Wouldn't change it for the world. It's taught me a lot.
Yeah, you learn so much every day.
Exactly.
Even about yourself too, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You learn a hell of a lot about yourself, and a lot of the time where I used to, you come in a house and it's dirty, upside down. No, I wouldn't even say dirty. It wasn't the way you like it to be.
Mm.
That's the point. I realized that it's only me who doesn't like it
Mm.
like this. So who should change it? Me. So I'd come in and I'd
That's a good
start
point.
dusting up and I'll start fixing it up because everybody else they're in heaven. They're in heaven.
Mm.
They're cool. Everything's upside down. Everything. It's only me who's coming in. You know how much I've put to put this house together and blah 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 blah. And every day is absolutely an absolute tip. And I
Yeah.
said, you know what? Just fix it yourself. It'd probably take you 10 minutes to fix it. Tidy up, clean up, and you feel good about it because you feel
Yeah.
how you got it. They don't give a damn. And other people would say, I'm going to spend my whole life bitching about it, moaning about it, and eventually you end up with a heart attack because
Yeah,
you're
that's right.
stressed. And so
Yeah.
then I says, no, I'm going to lead by example. Every single time I'm going to come, I'm going to fix it, fix it, fix it. You know what happened? Eventually, they started copying me and they started
Yeah.
putting things in place and
No,
whatever.
it's a good attitude, man.
And the bottom
Well,
line
actually,
is, it's not important anyway, is it?
yeah, that's right. But well, I think having kids actually highlights your flaws more than anything. Hey, like it doesn't really, to me, it didn't teach me the best things about me. It teaches me the things that I should work on because
Yes.
you know, there's a lot of things I reflect on when I'm at
Yeah.
work about the way I might have treated my kids or yelled at them for something or this or that. But then I don't really sometimes you don't stop and think about the good things about them, you know.
Well, that's it. One thing you got to learn with children and with your partner is to raise your tolerance level when you find
Yeah.
yourself. I'm not schooling you, by the way. This is just something I recognize for myself.
No, I agree with
That
you though. I
it's
agree with you.
it's raising your tolerance level because the bottom line is you're two different people. To have a
Yeah.
relationship, you got to accept that there are parts in their
Compromise.
personality that I wouldn't say are bad. I'd say there are parts in their makeup that you would not have done it like that. And there's
Yeah.
parts in you that they would not have done it like that. So you have to start to understand each other. You know, how many
Yeah.
times have you said, "Oh yeah, my wife don't do it like that. I fold my shirts that way. She folds them that way. She
Mm.
stirs her tea anti-clockwise. She eats yeah, seriously. Because I used to think, how do you do that? And she with her right hand, she'll stir it inwards. I said, why do you do that? She says, that's always done. She eats with a knife in her left hand and her fork in her right. And I says, switch it around. She goes, why? She goes, I've always done that. And exactly the same way that I would struggle as a right-handed man to eat with my knife. She would do it. She was used to doing that. So
Is
it's
she
not.
left-handed?
No, she's right-handed.
No. Oh,
Strangely,
right.
but that's the
Yeah.
thing. She's that's the way she is. So I had to learn that, you know what? Everyone's different. There is no right and wrong. There's about you starting to raise your tolerance level and understanding that person. Simple little things. Because I used to think
Yeah.
she's very mouthy. She used to shout a lot. And I didn't realize for the first 2 years that she was actually deaf. She had 13 operations on her ears since she was 4 years old, and she could not hear a damn thing. And she'd learned to lip read, right? My beautiful wife. And she had this, because she's Indian. Indians don't cut their hair. You don't cut them all, the fashionable stuff and everything. She had long hair, and she used to always shout really, really loud. So she'd be like, "Yeah, and I know this, and I know that," and I said, "Girl, why do you always shout? Why are you always shouting?" But it's a bit like you wearing headphones, listening to music, and then saying to me, "Oh, this is a great tune, man. Yeah," and I'm thinking, "Shh, okay." Whereas if you didn't have the headphones on, you'd be like, "This tune is really cool. This tune is really cool, man." So it was that kind of high, and I'm thinking, and then I realized when she told me that she had a problem.
So you didn't know prior to?
Oh, she knew.
That.
She knew but she was vain. She didn't want to wear a hearing aid. She didn't want.
Yeah, of course.
She's got no eardrum in her ear. She's had 13 operations there. So eventually, this doctor said, "Well, we got this thing called a Baha bone-anchored hearing device. I forgot what the last A is. BAHA. That's it. Aid. There you go. Bone-anchored hearing aid. But it screws in. It's a titanium thing. It screws into your skull. It's literally it screws into your skull right in.
Yes.
But it's about probably half a centimeter or a centimeter, so it's into your bone. And amazingly, the vibration helps you to hear. And it's cost about $5,000 for this little thing, and it's done. And it's in here. It's getting more popular now. You probably see them in Australia. Some people have them stuck in the head.
Okay.
And she said, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this." And she had to shave her head to have it done just there. And they said, well, if you grow your hair over it, every time the wind blows, it's going to sound like this. And it's going to really irritate you all day long. So it's like, so I said, girl, you've already gone with a black man, because in their fraternity, you don't go with a black man. You must stay with the Indian people. Sikh, stay with Sikh. Hindi, stay with Hindi. Do not marry a Muslim, and all that kind of nonsense. And so she's gone with a black man. So she says, I don't care. I'm going to shave it. And so she shaved it, and she's got the bone-anchored hearing device now. And she hears brilliantly. But again, going back to what we were saying originally, the understanding, I could have said, Jesus Christ, she's a mouthy Christ. She's got a mouth on her. Why? And then I didn't understand. She was just talking normally, because she's used to, she's kind of hearing herself just like we would with headphones on. We try to hear ourselves. And I said, oh, that's the reason. And that was a life-changing thing, because after she got that, well, I can't say she's quieter, to be honest with you. But she's a little bit quieter. But she's the last person. She's the last person to make me cry. Big old self of me, and that was a moment. Let me share an emotional moment with you. Right, just before she had it all done, they had to put a bandage around her head, and they had to put on a fake one, just pressed to her head, long before she had the operation. They just wanted to test this, so they bandaged around her head, and they put this little miniature kind of. It looked probably the size of a small. I don't know if you can catch that. Something like that. And they put it onto the side of her head right there, and they strapped it. So this is no drilling or nothing. It was just a prototype thing, and they put it on, and they put it in the booth, and they was pressing tiny little noises, and they said, just give us a thumbs up if you can hear it, and they done all that. And she goes, and they fine-tuned it. I says, okay, we got it to your head. I want you to go outside. This is inside the hospital. I want you to go outside with your husband and just walk around for a while and see how you get on. So she walks out of the room, and what we can hear people in the corridor. We can hear birds singing. We can hear, naturally, you and I can. And she had never experienced this before. It was like, and she just grabbed, when your wife holds your hand, there's a certain, she just gripped it. And I says, what's up? She goes, I can hear a kid. And I'm thinking, shit, we take it for granted because we're so used to it. I can hear. And this world oh, my feet sound really, really loud. And I'm thinking, you never heard your feet before? Oh, not like this. And she could hear people talking down the corridor. I just heard that woman call that man a bastard. Just shut up. And I says, you're going to be useful. Maybe you can turn that shit up, because she goes, we get outside. She goes, I can hear the wind. I can hear the trees. And I says, wow. So I'm thinking, wow, how cool is this? And I says, okay, do me a favor. I'm going to stand here in the corner. You just go to the other side of the corridor and see how you get on. And so she's like, I swear, about 25, 30 yards away from me. And I goes, I love you, baby. And she turned around, she goes, I love you too. And I thought, oh, fuck. And I just broke down crying. I just don't know why. It was just a moment.
Yeah.
Because the way she just turned, she goes, I love you too. She could hear me. It was like, wow. How cool is that? And anyway, that was just the beginning of it. And long story short, she ended up having the operation. They drilled it in, and it had a little problems to start with. But she's now got a titanium thing in her head. And she can
That's crazy. That's
Well,
awesome though. That's
yeah.
it's amazing.
These are the things that make your life tick. Not money, not all of that nonsense. It's the simple things that bond people together, what you go through and how you
Yeah,
respond and how you understand. And you take time to learn about somebody. You take time to appreciate somebody. You can take time to 1,000 other people will say, "Oh, I can't stand her. She's mouthy. She's this. She stands up for herself. As beautiful as she is, she doesn't take no nonsense. She's the calmest
yeah,
person. But if she's on your side, she's on your side. She's in your corner 100%. That's how she is. But you got to
yeah,
understand that person. Some people may not
yeah,
understand your choice of music. And I says, "Oh, Christ, it's a lot of fucking noise." No. Another man will say, "Shit, man. You play brilliantly. They'll understand it. Every time you touch that
yeah,
foot pedal is skill, the timing and all the rest of it. And you're playing with a band and everybody's in sync. And that's awesome. I appreciate it because it's like, wow, I can see what you're doing there. That's just, ooh, that's tight. People say, what's tight about it? No, you don't understand. He's in tune with
yeah,
the drummer's in tune with the bass man, the bass man's in tune with the cellist, whoever. I know you guys are, you don't know cello on your stage, I know that. But you
nah,
know what I mean? And it's
yeah, yeah,
music. It's music. And you get off on it. It's fantastic. And plus it takes
yeah,
balls to get up on the stage and do what you do because I know about stages and I know people who have stage fright and whatever. And
yeah.
I can't until they do it. And then
It's weird because I get social anxiety, but I
yeah,
can get on stage,
yeah,
no problem.
exactly.
But if I go to the shops and there's heaps of
Yeah,
people, I would get really uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
You know,
people are quick to get on a keyboard and tell you fucking shit and you effing this and you. They're quick to do that
yeah,
because they're hidden in their little cocoon. Some 12-year-old can bring down the president because the president reacted. My God, somebody on Twitter page, whatever, is called the president a son of a bitch. And it turns out there's some 10-year-old in his bedroom somewhere in the deepest,
that's
darkest
right.
part of, causing a ruckus. And it's like, it's not about what people say, it's how you react to what they say, stupid. Get it in your thick head. It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But
That's a
hey,
good point. That's a good point.
like I said, with age comes wisdom, usually. So
Yeah.
I don't react to a lot of nonsense.
Hopefully, I'll get some of that at some point.
Yeah, but you get it. How old are you now? You still young, man. You you
How
got
old am
time.
I? 37. 37, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
37?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're 27. My God.
I know, I get that all the time.
Wow, for real, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got.
yeah.
I've said it before, but seriously, you got a beautiful family. You got a
Yeah,
beautiful family,
thanks.
and
Appreciate
because
that.
and with all your tattoos and stuff, and the way you look, and a lot of people don't understand you, so they put you in a box.
Absolutely.
They put you in a box
Yeah,
straight away, straight
they do,
away.
yeah.
But hey,
I get that a lot.
you
But I try not to get bothered by it because I
no,
chose to look like this. So
exactly. You get past that nonsense
yeah,
because it is it's the way you feel. It's your expression, and not being dismissive of everybody, of, of everybody, of everybody. I've been talking too long, but it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't
yeah,
matter if they're on your
no,
side. They're on your side. People will like rock, and millions of people won't. People will like
yep,
reggae, and millions of people won't. Uh, a lot of people who love reggae, they'll say they listen to someone like Whitesnake or Bruce Springsteen or whatever, and they say, well, Bruce Springsteen is a legend, so he doesn't really give a crap if you like him or not. He knows that's a lot of people who do.
yeah,
So don't get it twisted. He doesn't like me. So what? Football stars. Somebody called you whatever. So what? Look at your bank balance. Look at your family
yeah.
life. Look at you.
That's
Stop
right.
bitching about somebody
You
on
can't
social
please everyone,
media.
can you?
And
Yeah,
people turn around. No, you can't dismiss it like that. People are made up differently, and you cannot just dismiss that somebody is upset about these things. It's cruel and it's rotten, and he had no right to call him a black bastard. Really? 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 Come on now. It's not what people say. It's how you react, you fool. Get it? You are immature. That's how I see it. You're
yeah,
immature, underdeveloped. I beg your pardon, you're underdeveloped. Your mind is underdeveloped. You got no wisdom in you. You got no life in you. You got no nothing. You're a puppy. All you've known how to
yeah,
do is kick a ball. You've never been schooled about nothing in life. You
yeah.
come from out of
Privileged.
school. straight to football, straight to making money. You know nothing about life. Shut up. Sorry, that's the real me.
Yeah, I think the same. I think the same.
But hey,
I actually I came out of the shops today. I went to the shops briefly, and I walked out, and there was a guy. He looked like he's probably on drugs or something, and he was a dark skinned fella, and he was yelling at a white lady about something, saying it, calling it a white CUNT, all this. And then I walked out of the shop, and then he goes, "Oh, white, black, I don't give a fuck what you look like." And then I walked off, and because he thought I was going to react about it, because he's he's abusing white people. But I was like, whatever, man. I'm not going to.
But trust me, I've been through it all. I've heard it from every race. I've heard black folks talking about black folks. I've heard Jamaicans talking about Barbadians. I've heard Nigerians talking about Ghanaians in a derogatory way. I've heard the N-word spouted out by so many people in my life. And then you hear a white guy talking about it, and you can't say that. Well, shut up, you fools. Can you not see how you're acting? I'm one of those black guys who say, I am not black. I am a human being. I don't act black or act white.
I don't see color. No, I don't see anyone in color. I just take them on their merits.
Exactly. And that's how I've always seen it. I know about the history. I know about slavery. I know about the goddamn Second World War. I've known about this. I've known about people who represented this country too, but they never hark on about the Sikhs and the Muslims who actually stood up in the front line as cannon fodder for the Second World War until recently. I know about everything, but I'm one of those guys who say, why do we continue so-called celebrating it, lest we forget and all the rest of it? Why don't we just let it go? Can we not just see that people now, even me saying that would be shocking, but think about it. 100 years ago, 100 years have passed practically, and we are still trying to push into the young kids. We can't see that black and white kids are growing together nowadays. They're growing together. They're not interested in all of that. So why are we regurgitating it about slavery, about Black History Month, about the Second World War, about how England did this and how England pillaged from America, and how the Spanish did this, and how blah, blah, blah. There's lots of things that a lot of people did was wrong. Let's not start with Australia either. There's so many things all over the world, the Arawaks and all the rest of it, and the true Indians, and the stealing of diamonds from this place, and God knows what. There's lots of stuff. Well, why? That was time past. Look at now. I find
it's pretty selective too. It's pretty selective about what people care about.
You got to look at now. And
it's like an agenda. There's always an agenda. It's like, why can't you equally care about things? How they'll want to focus, like you say you can't speak about certain people that are identifying certain ways now, but that's okay for them to say something. It's like, well, why can't we just, if we're going to make that rule, why don't we just make that rule across the board then?
It's crazy. It's how we focus as well. My dad used to always say to me, son, can you feel the shirt on your back? And I said, well, now that you mention it, yeah. He goes, yeah, but you walk around the whole day and you don't feel it. You don't feel the shirt on your back. You don't feel your underpants. You don't feel your trousers. You don't feel nothing. But until you focus on it. Yeah, I can walk past you in the street, and if you're not focusing on me, you won't see me. You won't see me. It's what we focus on. So we focus on the bad. That's exactly what we're going to spend our life doing, focusing on the bad. I saw a video when I was caught speeding at 143 miles per hour. So they sent me on this driving awareness course. Ooh, because I was such a bad boy. But I went there, and they showed you this video, and there were two teams of basketball players. One team, five aside, one was dressed in a black vest with white trim, and one was dressed in white, mainly white with little black trim. And the instructor said, okay, I just want to test your awareness to see how sharp you are at recognizing things on the road. He says, I'm going to run the video. I want you to count how many times the team in the white vest passed the ball to whoever. There's only one ball on there. I says, okay, how many times did the team in the white vest pass the ball to the team in the black? I said, okay. So, bang, I'm watching. Stopped it. How many? Okay, hands up in the class. How many counted 23? Everybody. Okay. No one saw 22? No. 21? And he starts acting like, I'm disappointed. Nobody counted 21. And so one guy said, actually, I was going to go for 21, but I think it's 23. He says, if you said 23, well done. All of you got it right. Okay, anybody spot the 7-foot gorilla that walked across the court and done that on his chest? I was like, shut up. No, there wasn't. Let's run the tape back. It's the same tape. This exactly, run it back. And now that we're looking for the gorilla, the 7-foot gorilla, there was a 7-foot, but obviously a man in a gorilla suit, dancing around in the court, doing that, right in front of us.
Yeah, okay.
But we wasn't looking for it. We were looking for the passes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. It's a bit like when you get out your car. You can drive somewhere for 25 years, same route from A to B for 25 years. And the day your car breaks down or your ute breaks down, you get out, you got to walk for 5 miles to get to where you got to be. You see things that you've never seen, and you've been traveling that same road for 25 years.
Yeah.
And because you took your time, you wasn't speeding past it. You missed it all because you're in a rush. You miss it all because you're not focusing on anything apart from your destination. And it's so true. So many people go past each other. I saw you on the road today. Did you? Yeah, I went straight past you. I waved to you, but you was focused. You know, so it's so much we can learn as we grow. And as long as we implement it into our daily living, not just say, I learned this, I realized this, and then you totally ignore it, then you haven't really learned anything because you're not actually practicing the goodness. You're not taking the goodness out of it and putting it into your daily life, you know?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, you got some wise words.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'll talk forever. I'm just like that. And people...
I'm actually probably going to run out of time on here soon too.
Oh.
I think...
How long have we been doing this? Wow.
Hour and a half, something like that.
Time does fly.
So I probably maybe got 5-10 minutes, but I don't want it to cut out on us.
Yeah, cool.
But,
well, this is interesting. I like doing the simple things, the real things. You know, this is what it's about. Just real life and the real person behind the...
It's better than text.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of folks assume, or they give me the label. They because of what I do, which to me is just voicing. I'm not a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, or I didn't build a mountain. I'm just a voice artist as far as I see it. But they give you this label, they give you this package, they give you the extra credit because I always say ASA, appearance, speech, and attitude. And you put them all together and you got yourself a winning combination because people judge you from the way you appear. I'm just casual on a Sunday, but if I go out and I put my suit on and everything, and people say, wow, I go to a function, wow, these earrings could have cost me $10, but because they got a special cutting in them, I'm not even sure if you can see them properly, they're all cut nice, and then people say, wow, I bet, and they're Indian gold as well, and they say, that must have cost you a few penny. They'll see the diamonds in the ring, they say, wow, I bet you that must have cost you, that's all carat, and they see your watch, and they say, oh, man, he's dripping. That's what they say over here, dripping.
Yeah, the drip.
Gold, right? Yeah, he's dripping, man. Man, that watch must be $100,000 and whatever. It's like, so the people are telling you what they believe you are wearing.
Yeah.
You know, the people who interview me, they will, especially newspapers and stuff like that, they'll say, you don't mind telling us what you earn? I said, it's none of your damn business. And they said, do you mind if we put? I said, you put what the hell you like. It didn't come out of my mouth. How much is your voice insured for? It's none of your damn business. So in the papers, they'll go and print, Red's voice is insured for $10 million and all that kind of stuff. It's, for Christ's sake. You know, so they already are giving you credit where you
Yeah.
haven't actually said it because of the way you appear. And then the way you
Yeah.
speak, and I can speak amongst rogues, and I can speak amongst royalty, not a problem. I can do that. And your
Yeah.
attitude, and the attitude is the way you carry yourself. You know, you're always willing to take part. You're always willing to engage. You're always willing to be personable. These things are qualities. Carry around with you. If you haven't got the appearance, have the speech and the attitude. If you haven't got the speech, have the appearance and the attitude. If you haven't got the attitude, have the speech and the appearance. You know, you carry them around, and people just smile at you, and it's just like, and they give you your credit. And the only person who messes that up is you. If you
right.
totally blow it, if you totally blow it. So, you know, it's life is beautiful, man. Life is beautiful.
It is. But should probably wrap it up, I think, Red. Well, one other question I wanted to ask before we finish. How did you get your stage name, Red? How did you get? How did you?
Well, that's the thing again to do with race, right? Because in my community, the black community, we don't do it like a white guy would just say, "I was a black bloke." Yeah. Whereas in the black community, let's say, "Oh, he's light skinned," or "He's red skinned," or "He's black, he's dark." Yeah, he's tall, you know, whatever. So in the black community, they'd say, "Oh, he's red," or he'd say he's fair skin or red skin. Yeah.
Okay.
So because my ancestors from back in slave times, I had Scottish in my blood from way, way back, where the slave masters raped the slaves and all the rest of it. So that's no big deal. I'm not being negative about that. That's just a factual thing. So I had a Scottish slave master raped a slave somewhere along the line, and the Scottish was in my blood along the bloodline. And that's why our family, even my dad, I haven't got a picture, but in the distance you think he's a white guy until you see his negroid features and his negroid hair. His hair is like typical black people's hair. So you'll see, oh, he's black. He's not white, but in the distance he's fairer than me. So they call me Red. That's how they call him. Red man. Red. Yo, red skin man. Red. And that's how that started. And because my proper name is Richardson Ivan Green, which sounds like an airline pilot, a very posh name. Richardson Ivan Green, you know what I'm saying? When I was DJing, when I was younger, out in the clubs, you know, on the flyer, they got Buju Banton, Shaggy, whatever, and DJ Richardson Ivan Green. Fuck that. They don't want that. Yeah. They want some cool, funky name.
Yeah,
so they call me Red. They said, call him Red, DJ Red, with that hot voice. That voice, hot, man, hot. So they said, hot like pepper. So the man said, call him Red Pepper. And I thought, Red Pepper, that's cool.
Yeah, right.
I'll go with that. Because it's just like Shaggy or Sting or something, you know. So
I love it. I need something like that, and I'll have to come up with my own one.
Yeah, do it. You got a nickname and it sticks and it works. First time somebody came to my house, my dad answered to that. He said, "We got a Red Pepper live here?" And I said, "Yeah, sir, Dad. That's me. I give you a good kiss me ass name, and you answer to Red Pepper? You jackass!" And that's my dad saying. You know, so anyway, yeah, good times.
All right, Red. Well, thanks again for the time. Appreciate it, man.
No, I thank you for inviting me, man. I much appreciate it. It's been fantastic.
And I'd love to chat to you again sometime again, for sure.
Hey, you know my details, man. Just hook up. It's all good. I got time.
I'll keep in touch anyway. I'll messenger here and there and keep in touch. And,
cool.
Yeah, and thanks, man, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Anytime, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
See you, mate.